intense and exciting atmosphere we have here tonight at Vale Park. It's the Potteries derby, number 5, chapter 5. And one wonders what the conclusion of the book will be. Let's take you back in time then. The first league meeting was way back last year. Stoke City ended up 2-1 winners. And then we moved into the FA Cup, a 0-0 draw at Victoria Ground. Back came the replay to Vale Park, which Port Vale won 3-1. What has to be said, in under extremely difficult playing conditions. Autoglass trophy time at the Victoria Ground. Up stepped Robin van der Laan to nick the show for Port Vale. Stoke City, the holders, out. That's the 4th chapter. Chapter 5 begins here tonight with his expert thoughts on Stoke City. I welcome to the commentary position my co-commentator and good friend Phil Lawton.
Yes, thanks, Tone. Well, I'm looking forward to this one tonight. I think it's going to be an absolutely amazing contest. I've just been helping out with the hospital radio collection, by the way, and my right arm is nearly falling off because I couldn't carry the bucket around, which was full of money. So if you're in the crowd tonight and you've purchased one of these videos and you put some money in our box, thank you ever so much. It is so much appreciated. But back to tonight's game. Now, looking at the two sides, Nigel Gleghorn's going to be important for Stoke. He's a very influential midfield man. Vince Overson in the central defence. He can always win the ball and stop the opposition. Surprise choice of David Cavan at number 8. Now that has amazed me, that they put David Cavan in. Lou Macari obviously wants to put so many people in his midfield. He wants to try and cancel out the Vale midfield. But looking at the Vale side, Robin van der Laan is in midfield. There's Ray Walker. Yes, he's at number 4 playing there. So he's going to cancel them out. That's his tactic.
Let's give the two teams then. I'll start with the home side, Port Vale, and in goal it's Paul Musselwhite. At 2 it's Kevin Kent, 3 Chris Sully, 4 Ray Walker, 5 Peter Swan, 6 Dean Glover, 7 Bernie Slavin, 8 Robin van der Laan, 9 welcome return to the side to Keith Houchin. At 10 Peter Billings, 11 is Paul Kerr. The two substitutes at 12 John Jeffers, and at 14 it's Nicky Cross. Back to Stoke City and Phil.
Right, in goal, number 1, Bruce Grobbelaar. Number 2, John Butler. 3, Lee Sanford. 4, Ian Cranston. 5, Vince Overson. 6, Nigel Gleghorn. 7, Steve Foley. 8, David Cavan. 9, Mark Stein. 10, David Regis. 11, Paul Ware. 2 substitutes, number 12, Kevin Russell. 14, Graham Shaw.
So it's an intensely exciting match that we have in prospect tonight. One wonders on derby occasions so often the football really takes a backseat to the atmosphere. We hope that isn't going to happen tonight as the home side, Port Vale, look to take maximum points from the 5th local derby between these two sides. We're ready for kick-off, we're ready in the commentary position. It's nice to have Philip here. He's been a busy lad with the hospital radio collection. We don't like to blow our own trumpets, but we're proud members of that service, and we bring you this service free of charge to Port Vale this season. So the game is underway. And it's Lee Sanford that got the ball back to Bruce Grobbelaar. Phil, Bruce Grobbelaar, he'll be well aware of the atmosphere that a local derby can bring.
Well, Bruce Grobbelaar has played exceptionally well since he's come to Stoke. He's played 3 games. He's let in only 2 goals, both of which that he had no chance with, I have to say that. The one at Swansea last week, and at Blackpool, the lad was through on goal on his own, and Bruce didn't have much chance of saving it. But what a cracking match I'm expecting here tonight.
Bernie Slavin to Robin van der Laan. Van der Laan got a little bit too much of a push onto that one, but it's foul for Ray Walker. Ray Walker just looked to trickle the ball through, and there's been a foul on Robin van der Laan. Van der Laan is down at the moment. He's back up on his feet as we talk, and the referee has pulled play back. It's going to be a free kick to Port Vale. And it looks Ray Walker territory, Phil.
Yeah, Ray Walker, Robin van der Laan's put him in from this sort of distance before as well, hasn't he? But my money is on Ray Walker here to have a crack at goal. But I'll tell you what, I'll be amazed if you beat Bruce Grobbelaar from there.
So Ray Walker, also Robin van der Laan is looking to set it up. We've got Chris Sully over there. It looks as if it's going to be floated in. It might be charged with Robin van der Laan. He hits the ball, and it goes through for a goal kick to Stoke City.
Not enough venom in that tone.
Certainly not. And like Phil said, you need to be an excellent striker of the ball, and we've seen Ray Walker scoring from there as Stoke City come onto the attack. This is Dave Regis. Gets the ball over. And much to the joy of the home fans, Dave Regis really made a hash of that.
Yes. They saw Paul Musselwhite off his line, didn't he, and wanted to check the ball and have a shot at goal. But Musselwhite, I think, would have had it covered had it been on target. But Dave's got sad memories of here, hasn't he, especially when it's raining.
Well, he certainly has, yes. In the FA Cup, don't forget, he had a chance to put Stoke City level at 2-2, and the ball stuck in the Wednesday night rain. Peter Swan in the thick of the action there for Port Vale. Robin van der Laan also. That was Houghton to Sully. Sully flicking the ball forward. Well marshalled on the far side by John Butler. He gets a second bite of it and clears it. This is Paul Kerr. And the ball's out of play on the far side. Throw goes the way of Stoke City. John Butler to take. Of course, Stoke City will be pleased that Ian Taylor isn't playing tonight, Phil.
Certainly will. He's been their star player this season, and that's put a dampener on John Rudge's ideas, I would have thought. Could swing the match Stoke's way, actually.
Well, Dave Regis has just won a free kick, some 35 yards out from goal there. He got a nudge in the back by Chris Sully. And let's see who'll line up for this one. David Kevin has the ball at the moment. Takes it short. Finds Stein along the floor, and that was no problem for the home goalkeeper, Paul Musselwhite, who releases Robin van der Laan very quickly there. And van der Laan does not beat Steve Foley, but he gets a second chance and brings it to Slaven. Slaven back into van der Laan. Van der Laan looked to release Slaven. Slaven might get there just yet, but he's tied it up very neatly to Vince Overson. And Overson over to John Butler. John Butler back to Bruce Grobbelaar. So there's going to be a free kick, is it, on the far side? No, it's a throw-in. It's going the way of Port Vale. Stoke City win it, though. It's with Stein. Robbed back by Port Vale. And this is John Butler with some nice footwork down the far side. And he beats his defender there and cuts the cross back to Stein. Stein has scored! Stein has scored for Stoke City after excellent work by John Butler. And Stein has scored for Stoke City. We have some fans on the pitch, and this is not what we want to see in a Potteries local derby. And the police and stewards need to be over fairly quickly to clear the trouble here. We won't be wanting to see too many scenes like that tonight, as Stoke City have scored on 4 minutes. With Mark Stein, he buries him from there regular as clockwork. He's got his name on the score sheet. Port Vale are in trouble here with just 4 minutes gone. This is Kevin Kent to Kerr. Kerr flicking it up, looking for Slaven though. And John Butler this time, this side of the field, clearing the danger. This is Dave Regis though, trying to find a bit of space. And he's brought down by Ray Walker. And Stoke City look to be in buoyant form at the moment. What an excellent goal though by Mark Stein to put the leaders of Division 2 in the lead at the moment. It's Port Vale 0, Stoke City 1, as we've got a free kick 26 or 27 yards out from goal. Gleghorn's over it. He likes to hit him from here. It's Gleghorn territory is this. Hits one! Oh! That was a good effort by Nigel Gleghorn. I've seen him score a few from there in his career, and Paul Musselwhite will be gratefully seeing that one go over the top of the bar. So this Potteries derby springs into life, and the prediction that Phil Lawton made, controversial as it was before the kick-off, saying that Stoke City would run out worthy winners by 2-0, is on the cards at the moment. Grobbelaar clears. This is Butler. Clipping the ball forward. Looking for Stein. Stein makes the... and that is Steve Foley. And Mark Stein is trying to get on the end of that one, but it was well marshalled out of play by Ray Walker. So it's a goal kick. Paul Musselwhite to take. Dean Glover failed to steer the header, and Peter Swan was there to clear the danger. Back to Paul Musselwhite. This is Sully, flipping the ball forward. Houghton's trying to get on the end of this one, and Overson elects to put it in touch. Phil, a dream start for the Potteries leaders of Division 2.
Yes, but they took the lead, didn't they, Tone, in the last match here? And you can hear all the fans to our left behind the goal, what they think of the match so far. I personally think Stoke will hold on now, and we'll take...
Cut in on you there as Mark Stein looks to get the ball back to Paul Musselwhite, and Musselwhite only half clears. And they were looking for Dave Regis there, but it was expertly cut out. And this is Kerr, and Kerr plays the ball across to Kent. And Kent's looking for a bit of movement up in the front line, cuts inside, beats Gleghorn there. And Kent moving in a lot of space now, and looks for the 1-2, and the referee there did not give the foul. Paul Kerr out to the far side to Chris Sully. Sully whips the ball over now, and Kevin Kent rose brilliantly there. Robin van der Laan trying to get in there from Vince Overson, and Vince Overson clears the danger for Stoke City. Up to Dave Regis. Paul Kerr in there with a timely challenge, so was Ray Walker, but it's foul for Regis, and cleared up by Chris Sully. And Ray Walker and Chris Sully getting a bit of a muddle there. Stoke City have got the dream start, Phil, that they so desperately wanted.
I was saying, also, I do feel that if Stoke do win this one tonight, they will be unstoppable as far as the league goes. I was looking at last season's league, Tone, and did you know that the champions went up with 82 points, and Stoke have got 76 at the moment. So if you work on that basis, only need 2 wins. Vale, I still think Vale will go up as well, but this game isn't over, you know, they could still win it, Vale could.
Well, Paul Musselwhite's just had a dreadful kick out of goal. It was Peter Billing that was left to clear the danger. Slavin now cuts inside. And this is Dave Regis for Stoke City. Great tackle, though, by Dean Glover. Gleghorn whipping the ball forward. David Regis got there. And this is Chris Sully for Port Vale. Up to van der Laan. And Butler got in there very, very quickly. And this is how the first goal started, with John Butler on the right-hand side. He's looking for Regis, and Regis gets there. And Regis, what an excellent header that was just over the bar.
Well, I was just thinking to myself then, if Stoke go 2-0 up here, it's going to make it a big hill for Vale to climb. Mind you, we've only had 9 minutes, you know. And there's not been a very good hunting ground for Stoke, this ground, over the last few years, has it?
It certainly hasn't. Musselwhite, better clearance this time. That was Slavin, nice work. Sully. And Bruce Grobbelaar punched that one, and he's got it to Gleghorn. Gleghorn clears the ball upfield. Expertly flicked on there by Dave Regis, but Peter Swan was there to cut out the danger, and that's going to be offside Kevin Kent.
Do you think they missed Bradley Sandeman?
Yes, I do, actually, but that's not to take anything away from Kevin Kent whatsoever, because Kevin Kent's played considerably well in the games that he's deputised for Bradley Sandeman.
You would have thought that they could perhaps find a space for both of them, really, wouldn't you?
Well, Sandeman's still injured. Sandeman is not in contention for a place at the moment. This is Mark Stein for Stoke City. This is Gleghorn. To Stein. Sorry, not to Stein. To Foley. This is Stein. Oh, and that's great work by Steve Foley and Mark Stein. And Mark Stein turning the defence inside out there. He was turning Peter Billings inside out there. And that ball...
I get the feeling the Stoke boys are wound up tonight, you know.
I think Mark Stein started out with something to prove to this Port Vale crowd tonight. And this is David Kevin. With the corner. Comes over. And Paul Musselwhite, excellent gather there. And that's something that we've seen him improve so much on, isn't he, as the season's gone on. Paul Musselwhite lets the players pack the midfield area and then unleashes the big boot. And Vince Overson there clears only as far as Swan. And Swan up to Van der Laan, and Van der Laan didn't get it forward, but the player's been brought back for a free kick on Robin Van der Laan. Paul Kerr looking to take this one. This is Peter Billing. Flicks the ball infield, cleared easily though. And this is Glover to Billing. Billing has Slevin offside, and he saw it and held the ball up really well there, and the ball is flicked forward, and Ray Walker looks to beat the offside trap. And Lee Sanford puts the ball into touch for a Port Vale throw, of which Kevin Kent will take. Has Ray Walker available. Also Bernie Slaven, and Slaven has found some space, and he gets the free kick there, and that's in a dangerous position, Phil.
Yeah, I was just thinking to myself, nothing at all to do with the play, but perhaps you can explain something to me, because I do a lot of thinking, me, you know. How come that when Vale come to Stoke, they always change the strip? They play in yellow, don't they? But every time we see Stoke here at Vale, they always play in the same red and white stripes. You think that's a superstitious thing?
Maybe so. As the free kick's taken, this is Ray Walker. Ray Walker got the shot, but it wasn't on target, and that wasn't going to trouble Bruce Grobbelaar at all there, Phil.
No trouble to Bruce there, but that's why I was talking about that, you see, because I knew that was going to happen, you see. But no, I
think probably, you know, it's got something to do with the traditional colours that one would associate with the two local clubs, the black and white for Vale, the red and white for Stoke City. And that's a poor clearance by Bruce Grobbelaar. Kevin Kent got there, but this is Lee Sanford. Sanford to Regis. Regis, great turn Peter Billing this time. And Peter Swan got the head to it. And that's going to be an offside flag. And Mark Stein there was very, very alert to that.
That's one thing I've noticed about Bruce Grobbelaar, you know, down at Stoke. If he has got a weakness, it's in his kicking. He can clear the ball great distances, but he's inconsistent with it. Every so often he clears it very poorly, and I don't know if you've noticed it when you've seen him in the few matches he's played down at Stoke, but especially from a dead ball, when it's a goal kick, he doesn't seem to get very good distance.
I would agree with that 100%. When the ball's rolling and it's played back to him, he does get some almighty distances with it. This is Sully, turns it back inside to Kerr, and Kerr back to Sully. Sully back to Glover, and Glover elects to hit the ball long, looking for Houghton. And Houghton, well marshalled by Vince Overson. Robin Van der Laan had a chance of stealing that one, but it comes away with Stoke City. And this is Mark Stein. Cut out, though, by Paul Kerr. Van der Laan. This is Walker. Walker's going to hit one. And that is just wide of this near post, and Bruce Grobbelaar didn't seem too concerned with that either.
Something else that's, I mean, I don't want you to think that I'm getting on to Bruce here or anything, because I think he's one of the best things to happen to Stoke, Bruce Grobbelaar, but something else that concerns me a little bit is the amount of times he comes off his line. Now, I've noticed him, he tends to stand on his 6-yard line quite a lot when the opposition are attacking, and I've thought to myself more than once, if somebody chips him, he's going to be in trouble. But he's so confident, he'd probably just take one step back and he'd have it covered, but it does tend to worry me a bit.
Yeah, but that's one of his characteristics, isn't it? As a goalkeeper, he's done that throughout his career. I remember seeing him with Crewe years and years and years ago, and I remember one fan saying to me, that when I was commentating up there, one fan said to me that you get the feeling that you'd like to tie his legs to the crossbar. Port Vale having a problem in clearing this. It was left to Ray Walker with a big up and under, but that's going to fall for big Dave Regis on the far side. Gleghorn's in the box, and Dave Regis rounds the man perfectly there and gets the cross, and Paul Musselwhite down quickly to smother that one.
Dave Regis' crosses are letting him down. He's got superb skill. That's twice he's beat his man, but his crosses at the end of the day have been poor. They've been too near to the goalkeeper. which has been a bit of a shame really, because the build-up work has been absolutely superb. I've not seen Dave Regis play as good as that for quite a long time.
Vince Overson in there, and there's a foot up. That surprises me, that decision, Phil, because Vince Overson had to stoop considerably to clear that ball.
Yes, but he is a top-class referee, Roger Milford. I've always liked him, you know, Roger Milford, and a superb choice for this match this evening.
Yeah, sure, but he has drew the odd criticism or two, hasn't he, in his career?
But what referee hasn't? One thing, we haven't seen him at Vale Park this season, but we've seen him on our travels. Did you know that Alf Bush, you remember him, don't you, when we went to see a match once?
Yeah.
He's quitting at the end of the season because of all the criticism he's getting. Have you heard that?
Yes, I have, actually. I didn't read that.
All to do with the Arsenal as well.
Toe poke on by Keith Ouchin there. Looked to get Burnley Slaven free. But as the ball came back towards Keith Ouchin, Lee Sanford it was that cleared the danger for Stoke City.
I must say that did sadden me a bit when I heard that, because I like Alf.
Kevin Kent looking to find Slaven there. And this is going to be Peter Billing. Back into Kerr. Kerr, great ball out to the far side. And this is... Whoa! Well, it was a cross-come shot there from the number 3, Chris Sully, ex-Blackburn Rovers. And Bruce Grobbelaar alert to turn that over the bar. And this is the first corner of the match for Port Vale.
Well, Vale have got to try and get themselves back on level terms as soon as they can. Certainly before half-time if they can. And this is a great chance for them to do just that now. They'll be looking for the aerial power of Keith Ouchin.
Kevin Kent over with the corner. Grobbelaar got a fingertip to that one, and it was a good job that he did. And it'll go out to Paul Kerr on the far side. Van der Laan's made himself available and gets the ball now. Flicks it forward. Great ball to Kevin Kent, and Kevin Kent steered the ball into the middle of the box, and it was Vince Overson that cleared the danger. Walker flicks the ball round, and this is Dave Regis back, and also Gleghorn, and Gleghorn only steers the ball to Slaven, but Slaven hit the ball directly at the Stoke player there, Lee Sanford, and that was a great tackle by Chris Sully.
Well, that was a bit unnecessary from Dave Regis there, because the ball wasn't going anywhere. The boy was always going to put it out of play, Chris Sully. And I can't quite understand why Regis went in with such power there, Tony. I don't know what you think.
Yeah.
Because he's done his side no favours.
Peter Billing swings the cross forward. And Kent, and you can see what his intention was there, Phil. Outside of the right boot, trying to swerve the ball goalward bound, and he did make an effort to go right, but it was wide of the far post.
It was a good shot, that was, and if that had been on target, that would have caused Bruce tremendous problems. I feel Vale are coming more into it now. They're certainly getting more of a grip in midfield, with Ray Walker particularly shining, and Robin van der Laan. And I think that this is a good spell for Port Vale. But from a Stoke City point of view, if you can hang on and keep going now, and more importantly, if you can make it to half-time, still in the lead, because that's where they fell down last match, if you remember. By half-time, they were losing. They did go in the lead, didn't they? So if you carry on and make it to half-time in the lead, then I think this game's there.
Ray Walker, great pass to this near side to Kevin Kent. And Kent gets the ball across, and it was a little bit disappointing from that point of view. And this is Mark Stein clearing the ball upfield. And Billing will have a chase on here. Dave Regis showing a little bit of interest. And Musselwhite screws that one, and it's not going to touch that one. Yes, it is. It was out.
He looked a bit tired then, Dave Regis. Did you think that? The way he was running back then?
Yes, it's heavy conditions out there.
I mean, we've had, how long? 21 minutes. He looked a bit tired.
He did, didn't he? But he's had an excellent 21 minutes as Dave Regis for Stoke City.
Oh, marvellous.
But thankfully the rain has abated somewhat here at Vale Park tonight. This is Gleghorn cutting inside. Kevin Kent lost his footing there, just to give you some idea of how slippery the conditions are. This is Kevin. Gleghorn. Gleghorn, nice turn. And he just failed to get the ball through to Mark Stein, and it goes all the way back to Paul Musselwhite in the Port Vale goal. Kent. Gleghorn has it though for Stoke City now, looking for Regis. Regis holds the ball up, and it's a missed kick by Peter Swan, and he gets it at the second attempt.
That's a shame for Kevin Kemp, was unlucky with the bounce there, Tone.
Gleghorn gets the ball back from Sanford. Houchin feeds Kent, and Kent looks to find Slavin. Lee Sanford elects to go a little bit unusual there, but he found Ian Cranston. This is Stein. And Foley just failed to get the ball there. It's now with Ray Walker for Vale. Slavin. And that was a little bit of disappointing from the new boy for Port Vale, Phil.
Yes, a bit of a shame that from the Vale's point of view. It's a good game, this, isn't it? Nice and nicely contested, played in the right spirit, and tremendous skill being shown by both sides at the moment.
Ray Walker wins the header. Bernie Slavin gets a foot to it. Keith Houchin showed a little bit of attention to that, and that forced Vince Overson to play the ball into touch.
I think that the Vale are one of the only teams in the whole of the Football League and Premier League that haven't lost a game at home, you know.
They are the only team.
Are they the only team?
They are the only team.
Because Stoke lost their record on Saturday, didn't they?
They certainly did. Kent taking a considerable amount of time with this throw. He's looking for the options. Van der Laan, Kerr, sorry, that got the ball through to Walker, and sliding in with Slavin, and a shot came in from the far side.
That was one each, Tone.
It should have been, shouldn't it? Because I think it was Chris Sully on that far side that was in acres of space there, and the shot should have at least been on target. Dave Regis for Stoke City, nice control, has Stein in front. Beats his man once again on the far side and gets the crossover. Ray Walker's there, back.
It's a cross that let him down again, Tone.
He did put the ball behind the player there, Phil, didn't he?
Yeah, but it was away from the keeper this time. I think he was trying to keep it away from the keeper this time, but he played well again. Regis then, didn't he? He's causing them all sorts of problems.
Well, he hasn't started a match for... Well, did he start on Saturday, Phil? He did, didn't he? Come off, though. They substituted him. He's not a regular first-team player by any stretch of the imagination, but he's justifying his selection tonight so far.
Didn't appear too impressed on Saturday when he was substituted.
Ray Walker to Sully. Port Vale moving forward now. This is Paul Kerr. And this is Dean Glover. Van der Laan. They're trying to play it around a bit, which is probably a good idea, and this is Paul Kerr now. And the Stoke City defence come away with it again, and Mark Stein is on a chase. Oh. And Peter Billy looked to have got a little bit of knock on Mark Stein there. I think it was accidental, and I think the referee, Roger Milford, saw it for what it was.
Well, I think the onus was on the linesman there, Tone, and the referee looked at the linesman, who was closer, and the linesman said no foul. So that's what the ref based his decision on. I thought it was probably 6 of one and half a dozen of the other.
Chris Sully. This is Keith Houchin. And on the far side, Chris Sully again now moving infield. Plays the ball forward, and Bruce Grobbelaar is out to gather that one, and that gives me time to switch commentary to Phil Lawton, who will take you through to half-time.
What a match this is, isn't it, Tone? Really enjoying this.
Pleasure to be here, Phil.
Are you buying the drinks later, by the way?
As ever.
So then Stoke winning 1-0, and they're coming forward now. This is Sanford. What's he going to do? He's going to move forward. He's got space in front of him. And Stoke starting to build. That was Kevin playing it over on the far side to little Johnny Butler. Well, you can't really call him little, can you? And Ray Walker comes away with it for the Vale. And Vale will start to build now with Sully. And this is to Paul Kerr now. What's Kerr going to do? He's starting to come forward, looking for Houchin. but Stoke have possession again. Now, good work by Stoke City on the far side, keeping the ball. This is Regis now. Turns well, but can't keep possession this time. And Billings, I think he was slightly over it that one, Tom.
Yeah, sure did. In fact, it was Peter Swan that did that there. I think he was trying to curl it. I think we see so many players do that these days, don't we? Go for the elect to clear it and try and curl it at the same time. And
yeah. Right. Stoke then are going to try and build again. They've got possession again. Free kick to Stoke, says Mr. Milford. And Stoke are going to take the time over there and taking this free kick. They're not going to rush. And placing the ball very carefully, John Butler. I think Macari's had a word with Bruce Grobbelaar, because he's normally on the halfway line now. He's in his goal tonight. Inside his penalty area. So I wonder if Lou's had a slight word, you know. Taking him to one side. This is Ouchin now, coming forward. He's got possession. What can he do? He does well. Keeping hold of the ball, and Foley's trying to get it off him, and he does. Good play from Foley there.
Great play by Steve Foley, and what a revelation he's been for Stoke City this season. He's had an absolutely tremendous start for Stoke City in this season. And he's done very, very well, hasn't he, Steve Foley? He's an ex-Liverpool player. He's also played for Grimsby and for Fulham. He was a £5,000 buy from Swindon Town at the start of this season, and what an excellent buy he's been.
Absolutely wonderful. So then, forward come Vale. That's Van der Laan, gives it to Walker. Floats it forward, but Stoke managed to clear. Foley has possession. Good ball to Stein. Now he's got pace on the far side, and Stein going down the wing. Instead, he elects to check. He's got Dean Glover in front of him, gets the cross in, but it's cleared, and Vale will now take control with Ray Walker. I was walking round the ground, you know, and some of the things that the fans say are very amusing and entertaining. But before the kick-off, I was walking around the ground, walking through some Vale fans, and they were singing to the Stoke fans, "Where's your trophy gone? Where's your trophy gone?" And I thought that was quite funny, that. Talking about the autoglass, of course. Regis trying to get them. That's a back pass, and Regis has just worked that one out. Musselwhite plays it out to Kent, and Kent and Glover.
Well, it's Kent and Peter
Billings.
That's Kent and Peter Billing there, Phil, in dreadful misunderstanding by the two Port Vale defenders, and that really territorially gives Stoke an advantage there through nothing.
Yes, Nigel Gleghorn will take the throw. He's got Foley to his right, but gives it to Stein. Back to Gleghorn, and then Stoke have a misunderstanding of similar proportions.
It's funny though you mentioned what different fans say. I mean, I was talking to some Stoke City supporters before the game, because we like to get out and about to gauge the reactions that we get from the fans. And I said, "What do you think about Port Vale then?" And they said, "Well, do you know they had a UFO sighting up here at Vale Park?" And I said, "What do you mean?" And they said, "Yeah, some unidentified flying object landed in the centre circle one Saturday afternoon and left immediately because there was no atmosphere." So off I went.
Not nice.
No, so off I went to Port Vale, and I said, "Do you know this rivalry between you and Stoke?" And he said, "Oh, rivalry." He said, I said, "Well, one Stoke fan says that you don't sing a lot at Port Vale." And he said, "No, that's true, because we are very, very into the game of football. We're football connoisseurs. We don't do a lot of singing. The only reason that they sing down Stoke is they don't understand what's happening on the pitch," he said. So, so they sing to pass the hour and a half away. But what an excellent both sets of fans, though, that these two teams have got.
Certainly. And the humour you get is quite incredible. But I'm not going to go into that, because it might upset him now if we carry on.
No, I mean, I'm just really trying to highlight what both sets of fans, and it's friendly rivalry when it's on that sort of terms. I mean, you've got the old joke. I mean, it's an old joke about the old UFO for any football team.
Well, we're all
but I'd never heard the one that the Vale chap came out of about, well, they don't know what's happening on the pitch, so they sing to pass the time away. I thought that was excellent.
Stein was looking for a free kick there. Referee's blown up for offside in favour of the Vale. But we should all be friends, you know, same city. We should be able to sit next to each other. I mean, we're all families. You know, I mean, for example, there's three of us here in the commentary position. We're friends, aren't we?
Well, I'd like
one
to
of
think
us is a staunch Stokey, and one of them is a staunch Valey, but we're friends.
aren't we?
Yeah, certainly.
And I don't mean me and Tone. Any road. Who the staunch Valiers do.
Well, I'm a fan of Potteries football, and I like both teams equally as much. I love the way Port Vale play football. I like the way Stoke play the game also. So, from my point of view, it's a feast of football here tonight.
Shot comes in. Whoa, that was Vinnie Overson. I thought that was on target for a minute then, you know. It's nice to see the ground full tonight as well. It's a superb stadium with great atmosphere when it's full here at Vale Park, and we've had some cracking matches here this season. And we might all be going to Wembley with Port Vale, of course, in May. That'll be a great day out, won't it? This is Kevin Kent now for the Vale, coming forward, looking to try and get something before half-time. Ball goes into touch off Sanford there, throw him. Got 13 minutes to go to half-time. And Vale need to try and get at least level before half-time. And John Rudge will be opening that. That's a cross from Kent, but Grobbelaar's there with the fist. Does well because he punches it to where no Vale player is, which is what it's all about. And that was Kerr there, playing it over on the far side to Sully, who has possession for the Vale. And that was Ray Walker. And the Vale putting some nice passing moves together, and Van der Laan gets the ball. And Vale come forward with Paul Kerr. What's he going to do? He plays it on this far side to Kevin Kent. Nice cross from Kent. This is good football. Stoke get possession, but they just clear. And Regis, can he hold? No, he can't. Vale get possession again. Nice football from Vale. That was Dean Glover on the far side. And this is a chance for Vale. This is... oh, what a shame that was. That was Ray Walker. And Bruce Grobbelaar has got the ball in play. Now, what's Bruce going to do? Very cool. And throw into Port Vale, but that was a great chance for Ray Walker, Tone.
Certainly was. I think he just a little bit of control that let him down there, and that's normally one of the assets of his game as Ray Walker, and just a little bit of a slight mishap with the old control business.
Great diving header out there from the Stoke defence. Shot comes in! Oh! That was on target from Ray Walker, was it? That was, if that was on target, rather, that would have been a problem for Bruce Grobbelaar. It was certainly close.
Well, going back to the old football thing, I mean, this has been our first season resident here at Port Vale, but we've had some cracking matches to commentate when you think about it.
Have.
We've had 5 Potteries derbies. We've had the West Brom games. We enjoyed watching Bolton that came down. They were a super side. But Port Vale have done us proud, and we've a chance to go to Wembley through them. And I'm sure that they're there already. I don't like making predictions, but I feel that they're there already.
Little Stein and Regis are causing Vale tremendous problems up front here. Here's Regis again. He's off on one of his runs again. He's playing brilliant tonight as Regis. That is a great turn chance for Stein, but he's offside. Linesman was late with his flag there, Tim.
Certainly was, and it was Steve Foley, wasn't it, that tried to get the shot in there, Phil?
Yeah. Throw into Vale. That last match we had up here in the FA Cup between these two sides. Oh dear, that was good fun, wasn't it? That night, weather-wise. At least it stopped raining tonight, but I've never been involved in football in any way like we were that night. It was terrible weather conditions, wasn't it? And even our camera went all funny, didn't it? But we managed to keep the pictures for you. Better coverage than Sky did that night, wasn't it, Tone?
Well, we managed to keep sound. They didn't, did they?
That's a free kick to Stoke. And the Stoke lad is down there. And he's looking to be in a bit of pain there.
It was Bernie Slaven that put the tackle in there. Mr. Milford has a word with Slaven. No yellow card.
Just trying to work out who that is that's down over there on the far side of the field. I think it might be Johnny Butler. No, Butler's standing up over him, isn't he? It's...
I think it's Dave Kevin, actually.
Yeah.
Yes, but a marvellous season that we've had. Both Potteries side head Division 2, and Stoke City at the top, and not too far behind him now are the great Port Vale. And like I say, I've come to really appreciate the football that Port Vale play and the way the clubs run. I've got into it, and it's a great atmosphere up here at Port Vale and a great team to work for.
Free kick to Stoke. And Regis trying to get the header on, but he can't. This is Stein to Regis to Stein. And Stoke get possession. That's Kevin playing the ball forward. Back to Stein. Little Mark Stein now is going to try and turn, but goal kick. So then we've got 9 minutes to go. 8 minutes to go to half time. So I would have thought that John Rudge would be hoping that Vale can at least go in level, and Lou Macari will be praying for the half-time whistle. But that's a poor kick out from Paul Musselwhite, and Stein pounces on it and does well. Plays a lovely ball, and this is Steve Foley. What can he do? Oh, and he overruns it.
Well,
Shame that's corner though.
Peter Billing did get a foot to that to steer it out behind the Stoke City touchline. Sorry, behind the Port Vale touchline for a Stoke City corner.
Kevin's going across to take. Little Davy Cavan with the corner for Stoke. Regis is up there. All the big men are coming forward. Overson's gone in there. Corner comes in. This will come back to, well, I was going to say to Cavan, but there's not enough pace on the ball there to take it. This is a great chance for Vale, though. That was Bernie Slaven playing it over on the far side to Chris Sully. Sully's coming forward. Got Kerr to his right. Instead, he elects to play to Robin van der Laan. What's van der Laan going to do? He plays it back across to Kerr. Kerr nods it down. Good interception, though. Throw into Vale. Concentration of Stoke at the back is very good, isn't it? They're playing very well.
Yeah, they are, and they are really sitting on the Vale forward line, and I feel sorry for Bernie Slaven at the minute because he's not getting much in the way of service. And that's because Stoke City are defending so very, very well, and they're breaking the moves down in midfield.
Yeah. Free kick to Stoke. Bruce Grobbelaar will come out to take. And he hasn't been wandering around as much tonight. I'm sure that Lou's had a word, you know. Now there's an example of his good kicking. That was a great kick from Bruce Grobbelaar. Got good distance there. But Vale get possession. That's handball against Steve Foley there. It was Robin van der Laan, wasn't he, who was kicking the ball, and it's going to be Chris Sully that'll take the free kick. Sorry, Dean Glover. Dean Glover to take the free kick. That's Walker. Tries to get it to Sully. Sully gets it. Ouchie. And this is Paul Kerr. Kevin Kent, what's he going to do? He's going to come forward. He's going to go round the full back, but he can't. And Lee Sanford beats him. That's a great ball to Stein, but he's offside. Offside.
That was a very, very close decision there for Mark Stein receiving the ball there. An excellent pass forward it was. And tough luck there for Mark Stein, really.
Marvellous. So then, free kick to the Vale, and it's number 10 Billings that takes. And that was a bit of a problem, but Bruce Grobbelaar is there for Stoke. And that's an example of his poor kicking. He's very inconsistent with his kicking as Bruce, isn't he? Bruce Grobbelaar.
He certainly is. He has been over the matches that I've seen him play for Stoke.
No, that's Dean Glover playing the ball over on the far side there. And Vale start to come forward. It's good football. This is Chris Sully. Keeping possession well at Port Vale here. Ray Walker now has got a bit of space. Plays it wide on this far side, but it wasn't a good enough ball. And off on the chase goes David Regis. Paul Musselwhite's got to make this. And he does.
Great ball forward from, it was Nigel Gleghorn that put that one forward, and it was an excellent opportunist pass that was, and Dave Regis had a lot of time to move on to the ball, but Paul Musselwhite was back to clear the danger for Port Vale.
4 minutes to half-time. What a great match this is. And you are listening to Phil and Tone, the #1 commentator in the whole of the world of football, and I'm honoured to be here with you.
Oh, that's very nice of you to say so, but it's a 1, 2 and 3 for first team television here tonight. The 5th Potteries derby.
Overson takes the free kick, goal kick. Well, looking very much as though Stoke are going to go in leading at half-time. We've got 3 minutes left. OK, you're John Rudge, Town. You're sitting there with your players. You've got to G them up. You've got to get the Reds raised for the second half. What are you going to say?
Well, just looking at that clearance from Paul Musselwhite, and he seems to have got a touch of the Grobbelaaritis at the moment. No, if I was John Rudge, I think they were unfortunate to fall behind to what has to be said, a class strike by Mark Stein. But having said that, Stoke City are playing tremendously well at the back. If I was John Rudge, I'd be looking at the forward line because, and he can't really cast any aspersions on the forward line because they've had very poor service of Keith Hounchin and Bernie Slaven, and I say that with no detriment to the Port Vale midfield, but the moves have been broken down in midfield, and I would be looking at that very seriously at the moment, Phil.
Yes, I think I agree with you there, but this is a chance for Vale. Is it problems here at the back for Stoke? And it's only half cleared, and there's a cross coming in, but Grobbelaar's there.
Bernie Slaven needed to steer that way a little bit away from Bruce Grobbelaar, but this is excitement at the other end, Phil.
Problems for the Vale. This is little Mark Stein. What can he do? He's going to get a shot. Oh! Mark Stein, that was close.
That was an excellent piece of football there by Mark Stein, really showing the whole of the Potteries people here at Vale Park tonight just what a good striker he'd been, and that would have been a world-class goal, that, Phil, if that would have been on target. And I think Paul Musselwhite was very grateful to see that one go over the bar.
Yes, I agree with you there, totally, Tone.
Port Vale really do need to try and get some service through to the front too, in Keith Hounchin and Bernie Slaven. And one wonders how long we might see the introduction of John Jeffers or Nicky Cross.
Well, if the score doesn't change, I think you'll see him very early in the second half. If I was Lou Macari sitting in the dressing room with the Stoke lads, he'll be absolutely delighted if they go in 1-0 up, which is looking very likely now. Be delighted with the commitment, with the play. They've answered the critics after what happened on Saturday against Blackpool so far in this first half, but Lou will bring them down to earth by telling them they're not playing well enough. They've got to play better to make sure that they get the result here this evening, and just keep on playing the same way. I think basically he'll tell them they've got to keep it tight at the back. It's a bonus for Stoke that Taylor isn't playing, because that he would have been a tremendous danger for the Vale against Stoke. But Vale are playing nice football. I think from Vale's point of view, they've got to be patient, and that's what they're doing. They're keeping patient, keeping possession, and a chance will come. But when it comes, they've got to take it. And here's Van der Laan to Sully on the far side. They've got to take the chances down when they come, as Van der Laan gets the cross in. Super turn. And this is a chance for Vale. Oh, what a great save from Bruce Grobbelaar out the corner.
From Bernie Slaven. Excellent work by Bernie Slaven there, and he showed equal to Mark Stein there, didn't he? As Bruce Grobbelaar pulled off a marvellous save there, steered it behind for a corner. But, you know, we're saying about the Potteries 1 and 2 on the top of Barclays League Division 2, but we can also say that we've got two of the best managers in the Football League looking after our local sides, in Lou Macari and John Rudge.
Corner comes in, could be a problem, but it's cleared by Stoke's defence. But that was sloppy defending by Stoke, which allowed Bernie Slaven in. And I was just saying how well they were playing at the back. Looking down on the benches, Macari's on his feet. We're into injury time now in this first half. I can't remember many injuries. Oh, there was the Kevin one, Tone.
Yes, yeah, Kevin was down for a while, wasn't he? And I don't think he'll be allowed too much time on that, though.
There we go, half-time. Great half-time news for Stoke fans, but not so good for Vale. I'm going to have a cup of tea now, so I'll leave you with Tone.
Getting sparked into life on 4 minutes from Mark Stein. He received the ball after excellent work on the far side by John Butler. 14 yards out, and Stein showed what a clinical finisher he can be. And that's the difference between these two local sides at the moment. It's Port Vale 0, Stoke City 1. So welcome back for the second half of the Barclays League Division 2 campaign. It's a promotion campaign here tonight, a promotion clash of epic proportions. And it's the home side, Port Vale, that are trailing by that solitary goal, scored with great class and great dignity by Mark Stein on 4 minutes. Well, we've got the customary cup of Port Vale tea in us valleys now, Phil.
Feel a lot better for that, Tone. A lot better for that.
It's a murky, misty night here in Burslem, Stoke-on-Trent, in the north of the Potteries. It has to be said that the visiting supporters are in great voice at the moment, and while they should be having the goal advantage, as Stoke City take to the pitch.
No substitutions, Tone. Same team on both sides have come out.
So John Rudge has elected not to change his side round, and I think it won't be too long into the second half if the front two of Keith Houching and Bernie Slaven start getting some service. I mean, an option open to John Rudge, Phil, is that he might well want to take Peter Billings off, play a flat back four, and bring John Jeffers on.
Yes, well, that's always an option open to him. I think that John Rudge will probably see how it goes for 5-10 minutes, but if nothing happens in those space of time, I don't think it'll be too long before you see John Jeffers and indeed Nicky Cross coming into it.
Well, it's Port Vale attacking the goal away to our left, and that was Keith Houching looking to get the flick on to Bernie Slaven, and that goes behind for a harmless goal kick. And Bruce Grobbelaar will want to make a good one here in front of his home supporters.
Yes, he needs to get some distance on this one. That's better.
It was well won by Glover though, and this is Robin van der Laan. Finds its way through to Ray Walker, and Ray Walker just put an extra touch on that one and steered it behind for another goal kick.
That was a good tackle from Paul Ware again, coming in there to get a tackle in on Robin van der Laan. Ware is marking van der Laan tonight, isn't he? Tight marking him.
It does certainly seem that way, doesn't it? It was Regis that got the flick on and found his striking partner Stein. Ball's played in for Regis, and Regis can control this and hits it first time on the volley and puts it behind for the Port Vale goal kick.
He did well there to win the ball, but his finishing let him down a little bit. But the idea was nice, and it would have been good if it had gone in the back of the net, wouldn't it?
Van der Laan, great header forward. This is Slaven. Slaven finding Sully with a great ball, and Sully electing to go down the line. And Ware nudged him out of that one and marshalled it behind for a goal kick. That was excellent play by Paul Ware.
It's amazing how these matches have gone this season, isn't it? In the cup games, the Vale have taken Stoke and torn them apart, but are Stoke going to get the revenge in the league games? Well, it certainly looks like it the way it's going, doesn't it? But there's a long way to go yet. You don't write the Vale off yet, but it would be a bit ironic, wouldn't it?
You write Port Vale off at your peril in any time in a match, as Paul Kerr plays the ball out to Peter Billing. Billing turns back, gives the ball back to Kerr, and Kerr back to Billing. Great football that. That was looking for Keith Houching, but he's beaten to it. But the ball's played forward now, and Slaven will look to get there. Vince Overson taking no risks and putting the ball behind for a Port Vale throw on the far side. Kevin Kent with it. Slaven trying to make himself available. Tightly marked by Lee Sanford. There's two players taking Ray Walker, Gleghorn and Foley, but the ball comes across, and a great gather there by the Liverpool goalkeeper that's on loan to Stoke City, Bruce Grobbelaar.
The referee getting in the way there.
Roger Milford got in the way there.
Then Ray Walker trod on his foot, Tone, because the referee's hobbling, Luke.
He'll be looking to run that one off, but he's in a bit of discomfort at the moment is Roger Milford. And the trainer's going to come on.
We get a camera on the referee, Tim. He's in terrible trouble. And that was Ray Walker that tackled him, Tone.
Well, I think it was more of the case of the referee getting in the way there.
Well, the linesman's on. He must be the senior linesman, ready to take over. And I noticed down on the touchline, our substitute official is warming up, Tone. He's actually warming up like a player down there. He is, Tim. The substitute official is running up and down on the touchline, getting ready to come on. Now, what an incredible substitution this will be. And Roger Milford's going off, Tone.
Well, we have a substitution here at Vale Park tonight. Referee Roger Milford limps out.
Well, I told you that John Rudge would make a substitution, Tone. Well, a bit of drama. Roger Milford says thank you very much. Substitute linesman's done his warming up.
And they shake hands like a crowd of players. And Mr. Ingram comes to the centre to be given the flag on the far side. So we have a substitution, and it's an official. That's the first time I've ever seen that, you know.
I always remember, you know, a long time ago when I was very young, going back to my school days, a match at Stoke City between Stoke and Blackburn. And it was when Stoke were in the second division. It was about 1975. The referee got knocked out in the match. And in them days, you know, they had no substitute officials. Because at every match now, you know, they have a substitute official, Tone.
Yeah.
But in them days, they didn't have nobody. And you know what they did? They got somebody out of the crowd. They announced on the tannoy that afternoon, is there anybody here that's got any Football League refereeing coaching badges with them? And a guy run down the touchline, come out the crowd, run down the touchline, showed his badges, and they had him as a linesman. And that's true, that is. Blackburn Rovers it was. Look in your record books when you get home. 1976. Well, you're at home now, aren't you? Get your record books out. 1976, when Stoke played Blackburn, play was held up for about 20 minutes while this guy got changed, and then he ran the line.
Well, we've got Mr. Davies in the middle as the football continues on the pitch. Cleared though for Stoke City. Going to fall for Ray Walker. Ray Walker gets the head back to Billing. Billing plays the ball forward. Again, it's cleared by the Stoke City defence as far as Dave Regis. Dave Regis going on a bit of a chase at the moment with Paul Kerr, and Paul Kerr's nudged off it, and the referee brings play back. And that is going to be it could well be a booking there for Dave Regis.
Well, he'll claim that he couldn't hear. Just for the record, Stoke won 5-2 that day.
Well remembered. Pick that one out of the back of the brain there, Phil.
I was about 11 years old, I think.
If it was 1976, you were 13.
Why'd you have to tell him?
So Port Vale will look to build again. Chris Sully is free on this near side touchline. Kerr elects to go with Dean Glover. Glover swings the ball forward. Gets a touch. Oh, Bernie Slaven! Keith Houghton, sorry, was nearly got onto the end of that one. It was steered behind for a corner. And Keith Houghton was just inches away from that one. Ray Walker it is to take the Port Vale corner. Port Vale looking to make this early pressure towel. Peter Swan elects to let the ball go all the way back, and the ball swung back in again. And it was Van der Laan up this time. And Grobbelaar collects that one as Keith Houghton goes sliding to his knees. Mark Stein played out to this near touchline to Ware to Butler, and Butler hits that one out of play, looking for Mark Stein there. And Stoke City's fans in fine fettle at the moment as Chris Sully prepares to take the throw in for Port Vale. Sully gets the ball back.
Vince Overson was in there, wasn't he, Tim?
He was there, yes.
I think he saw Ouchin making himself known to the Stoke player that was in front of him, and Overson went in and made Ouchin know that he was there. Conceded a free kick though.
Slaven back out to Billing. Oh, and that was very unlucky. Peter Billing tried to put Kevin Kent through there, and Stoke City come away with the ball once again.
Nice.
And this is good work here by Steve Foley, and it was a great tackle on Steve Foley. Billing to Glover. Glover has Sully, elects to go to Slaven. Slaven to Sully. Sully's having a difficult time with Paul Ware at the moment, Phil.
Yes, Stoke are doing all right at the moment. They're hanging on very well at the back there. Vale are trying their best to create something. Stoke are trying to catch Vale on the break and causing one or two problems up front. I think that John Jeffers and Nicky Cross will come into the reckoning very soon if things don't alter.
Good work by Van der Laan, but Ray Walker was crowded out by two Stoke players there as Bruce Grobbelaar plays the ball up forward, and that's going to go all the way through to Paul Musselwhite. And that was an evidence of a good kick there.
Yes, that was a lot of power behind that too.
Just needed a little flick on there, I think. Paul Kerr showing some skill there to get the ball back to Dean Glover. Glover to Kerr again. That's going to be a throw to Port Vale. Houghton wins the ball. That's Sully. Sully, nice turn. And Sully doesn't get the foul that he was looking for there, and I'm not surprised because there was no infringement whatsoever there. This is Houghton to Walker. Walker over to the far side to Kent. Kent whips a low cross in. Yeah, he nearly got foul for Kerr. But Stoke City can clear the lines now as Peterbilly races back to gather this one. Gives the ball back to Musselwhite. Musselwhite has Glover free, but elects to go to Swan. Swan over to Billing. Slaven.
Stoke's midfield seems to be losing it a bit at the moment. They're not winning the ball enough in the middle of the park, and they're backing off a little bit as well, Tone.
I'd agree with that 100%, Phil, there as Dean Glover looked to put Bernie Slaven through, but it was cut out. Throw taken by Chris Sully. This is Glover. And there's going to be a foul there. Bernie Slaven won the foul there from David Kevin. Sorry, it wasn't David Kevin, it was Ware, wasn't it there?
Paul Ware.
But Paul Ware's having an excellent game, I feel, in the absence of Carl Beeston for Stoke City tonight. And they're wanting the two-man wall back the full 10 yards as Ray Walker will look to swing one in. And that was a disappointing cross from Ray Walker.
Good header from Foley there.
Kerr. Vince Overson marshalling the defence well for Stoke City as Mark Stein's in possession now. And it was Ray Walker that tackled him and came away with the ball. Throw in as Paul Ware got the shoulder charge in on Ray Walker there. And I'm surprised that hasn't got in the way of Port Vale, because Paul Ware definitely got a foot to that.
Yeah, I'm a bit disappointed with Stoke's midfield at the moment. They're trying to bypass the midfield of defence. Every time they get the ball, they're booting it forward, trying to release Stein, and Stein is trying to take pressure off the defence and midfield, Stein and Regis, by trying to keep possession. And I feel that Stoke's midfield can do it, just pushing out a little bit. Foley and Ware and Kevin trying to get more of a grip on this game and trying to get possession and try and keep it and try and play football.
This is Sanford for Stoke on the far side. And that was a great play there by Peterbilly as John Jeffers is warming up for Port Vale. Brewster Russell and Graham Shaw are already warming up. In fact, all four substitutes for both sides out at the moment warming up.
Yeah, I wonder what we'll do if another linesman falls over and can't carry on. You'll have to go down, Tone.
Left me badger, Tone. Stein. Great pass to Butler. Butler's pushing this on a little bit too, and that was a great tackle by Robin van der Laan.
But Butler knew what he was doing there. He knew he wasn't going anywhere, but this takes up precious seconds, doesn't it?
Certainly does. Ware's going to take this one for Stoke. To Butler. Butler back to Ware. Ware looking to get past Robin van der Laan, and Robin van der Laan has the ball here, but cut back inside by Ware, only as far as Chris Sully though. Cleared upfield. Bernie Slaven comes to collect. Slaven out to the far side to Kent.
So yes, the Stoke midfield is just not getting a grip at all.
Well,
Slaven
has Sully, goes to Robin van der Laan. Robin van der Laan into Kent. Kent out to Sully, and that's going to go out of play. and that was a little bit disappointing. It's good build-up by Port Vale, and then just one little thing, one little pass will go astray, and Stoke City can just sit back, Phil.
Playing a bit deep tonight, Stoke are, aren't they? Vale are going to make a substitution. John Jeffers going to come on. Chris Sully coming off.
Well, I can see the sense in that, because it has to be said that Chris Sully's had somewhat of a torrid time up against his marker Paul Ware. So I think we'll find that Peter Billing will slot back, Dean Glover will push over, and John Jeffers will take to the left-hand side to get some service into these two, which is badly needed for Port Vale tonight, it has to be said. This is Billing.
And
Ray Walker.
Stoke's 2 substitutes warming up as well, Tom, but I don't think we'll see any introduction from Lou Macari's team at the moment.
That's good. Bernie Slavin a yard or two offside down. He needs to get back quicker. If he's going to get any service tonight, he needs to come out with the Stoke City defence.
Tell you what, it's not as cold as it has been up here tonight, is it? No gloves I'm not wearing tonight. You're not wearing any? Tim is.
Well, this is a throw-in for Port Vale tonight now. 15 minutes gone. It's still Port Vale 0, Stoke City 1. Goal scored by Mark Stein on 4 minutes. And an excellent goal it was too, but we still have hope for Port Vale. They're looking good in midfield in this opening 15 minutes of the second half. Dave Regis, though, has played, and Musselwhite did well to come out to gather that one right in the corner of the 18-yard area. This is Glover, brings the ball up. John Jeffers available on this near touchline, gets the ball now. Back to Glover. Glover clips the ball forward. Houchin didn't do a great lot with that, did Keith Houchin. Slavin had gone on looking for the flick on. This is Glover, back to Kerr. Kerr to Houchin. Houchin to Walker. And the football starts to build up again from Vale. Kerr looks to put... Kerr gets the ball back now, but it's cleared again by the Stoke City defence. And I think Ray Walker was looking for the 1-2 there, Phil.
Could be a problem this though, Tone.
Dave Regis holds the ball up well. He's waiting for support. He has Mark Stein, elects to go alone though. And he runs straight into... That's a wrong decision, that's surely by the referee. Because what Dave Regis did there was run straight into Dean Glover, Phil.
Well, Dean Glover certainly had a chat with the substitute referee there, didn't he? And certainly suggested to him that perhaps he'd made an incorrect decision. But that was a great run by David Regis tonight. I think he's played brilliant tonight for Stoke. Best game I've seen him play since he's come to Stoke.
Gleghorn's going to hit one. And a great save by Paul Musselwhite. Paul Musselwhite earned his wages for the next 3 years after that save. What an excellent tip over, Bruce Grobbelaar style. A save which Bruce himself would have been proud of. But what an excellent free kick by Nigel Gleghorn, Phil.
How many years?
3.
3. How many years have I earned my wages for?
I've declined to answer that one.
No, it was a marvellous save, and I think it took everybody by surprise. And probably took Paul Musselwhite by surprise as well, but he adjusted himself well and got the fingertip on it. Great save.
Dave Kevin with the corner for Stoke, looking for the near post flick on it. It was cleared by the Port Vale defence through Dean Glover. Stoke looking to build again. This is Gleghorn again. Will he go for the shot again? He's made himself a bit of space. Cut out by Kevin Kent though. But Stein could be first to the ball. And Stein doing well. And it's another corner.
That was more great work from Nigel Gleghorn, that was, that created the chance for Stein to get the corner for Stoke. And Stoke are just doing what they're good at now. They're keeping the ball in the opponent's half and keeping the pressure on the opponents, taking the time with the corners and that. They're 1 goal up, and why not?
Dave Kevin's certainly taking his time over this one. Kevin with the corner. Better corner! That's a goal! That's a goal by Stoke City! What What an excellent goal by Stoke City.
I think it was Gleghorn.
It was Gleghorn. Got in there from a great corner by David Kevin. And it's Port Vale 0, Stoke City 2. And Phil, Port Vale need to make changes.
Well, I think that's the goal that's probably won this match for Stoke tonight now. Great goal, great work from Stoke to get the corner by Gleghorn. Corner came in from Kevin, got the corner in. Up goes Gleghorn, 2-0, picked that one out. And I feel a little bit sorry for Vale because they played exceptionally well tonight, but they've come up against the Stoke side that are on form. They've come up against them when they're playing absolutely brilliant football tonight. And the luck has gone with Stoke as well. And that's what it's all about, and that's why they're going to win the league, Tone.
Well, that's a strong prediction from Phil Lawton, and there's a long way to go to the end of the season as Kevin Kent does well on the far side. Under attention from Lee Sanford. This is Walker. Cleared again, and this is Mark Stein to chase this one, but Dean Glover's going to get there and play the ball back to Russell White.
I'll tell you what though, one of the things that has got Stoke where they are this season is their fitness, and that is going to tell now, because it's a very heavy pitch, and Lou Macari has them working really, really hard fitness-wise. And they'll carry on running and running and running and running. And I think that Stoke will get stronger as the match goes on.
Well, Ray Walker played the ball into touch there, under no real danger, looking for the pass out to Kevin Kent on the far side. Gives the ball away to Stoke City by the way of a throw-in.
Brucey's come out a bit there. Thought he was going to take the throw-in for a minute then.
And the Potteries side, Stoke City, have brought with them fantastic support tonight, and you can hear that support. And the Vale faithful, not surprisingly, a bit subdued at the moment. But Port Vale won't give up. They'll press forward with Port Vale. They're known for doing that. Bernie Slavin was looking for the free kick there. Didn't go his way though. In fact, it was given against him. Overson for Stoke, looking for Regis. Regis gets an absolutely great flick on there, and Mark Stein had strayed offside. But Dave Regis is doing tonight what he struggled to do all season, Phil, because they bought him for that reason, that he can hold the ball up and flick it through with the head. Hasn't been doing that of late, but he's
my man of the match on the Stoke side tonight is Regis. I think he's played brilliant.
This is Paul Kerr going to take the throw now for Vale. Kent. Sorry, that was Jaffers. This is Kerr. Kerr to Van der Laan. Played him in a little bit of trouble, that did, to Van der Laan. Swan. Over to Billing. Billing can come forward. Nearly got the 1-2 going there, but Stoke come away with the ball again. This is Dave Regis now. Has Mark Stein in attendance. Ball gets through to Mark Stein. Mark Stein holding the ball up, waiting for reinforcements. This is Foley. Kevin. Great play there by Dave Regis. Ball comes out to Stein. Stein gets round the defence, clips the ball back, and it was just a touch on by the Port Vale defender there. Allows them to come away with the ball now, and they do that through Ray Walker. This is Kent. Goes out on the far side. This is Ray Walker. And Ray Walker wins the throw-in on the far side. And I don't think John Rudge has got anything to lose now if he brought on Nicky Cross, Phil.
No, I'm quite surprised he hasn't yet done it. Although having said that, I mean, perhaps he feels if Vale can just get another goal, then if Vale can just get a goal, then they'd be right back into it. But at the moment, I think Vale are a bit demoralised.
Yes, and if Port Vale can manage to get a quick reply, I mean, we've still 20-odd minutes to go to the end of this game, and it's Port Vale 0, Stoke City 2. Goals through Messrs Gleghorn in the second half and Stein in the first. And Lou Macari will be thrilled with this performance. Ball clear by Musselwhite. It's back with Port Vale now. Billing flicking the ball forward to Kerr. Kerr back to Billing. Billing again, plays the ball forward. And again the ball comes forward looking for the Stoke City attacking line, and it goes all the way back to Paul Musselwhite. This is Swan, hits the ball long. Houchin nearly got there, falls for Kerr. Kerr to Billing. Billing has Kent available if he needs him. Paul Kerr's also making himself available. Ball's played up though. Slaven, but what a great tackle it was by John Butler. And this is Jeffers. Jeffers gets the ball back now. Paul Ware showing a little bit of an interest. Ball flicked up though, looking for Slaven. Slaven gives the ball back to Jeffers, and Jeffers, well, he hit Jeffers' leg, and this is Foley coming away with the ball now for Stoke City. Has Mark Stein on the far side. Stein will get there and just fail to control it. Paul Kerr got in a timely challenge there for Port Vale. Turns around and starts to mount a Port Vale attack. This is Kevin Kent. Flicking the ball forward, looking for Houchin. Houchin gets there. This is Kent going down the byline, and he wins the corner, Phil. Is it a throw-in? Van der Laan gets the ball back. Ball comes across now. Grobbelaar misses it. And thankfully for Stoke, Dave Kenning was there to clear the danger. This is Regis. Johnny Jeffers gets there, but great tackle by John Butler. And this will allow Peter Billing to sweep up at the back. Out to Kerr. Kerr has Kent going up the line for him. Decides to come infield though. Finds Ray Walker. Ray Walker to Glover. Glover clips the ball forward. Grobbelaar comes out and punches, and it goes to Ray Walker. Ray Walker nods the ball over to Kerr, and Kerr gets the ball out to the far side to Kev Kent. And Kent will move inside now. Plays the ball, but a great diving header there. And again, Stoke City come away with the ball through skipper Vince Overson, only as far as Swan. And Swan plays a great ball looking for Kent, and Kent's not going to get there. He had a good go though.
Yeah, he tried his best. A bit disappointed he couldn't keep that in about Kevin Kent.
I've overrun there, Phil, and it's, yeah, you've got to carry us through to the end of the match now.
Nice.
I was enjoying you so much. Throw into Stoke then, thank you, Tone. And what a night it's going to be for the boys from the Victoria ground if they can keep this going. And who was it that said 2-0?
Yeah, you made an excellent prediction. I must admit.
More luck than judgment. Offside, Regis over there.
I think you got some inside information, to be honest with you. Well, if one of your assets is you can read the game, and I think a couple of the matches that we've seen up here today, you know, in this game, in this stadium this season, you've read the game perfectly. You've read this one perfectly too, Phil. It has to be said.
Well, I think Vale have desperately missed Ian Taylor tonight. That's been the difference between the two teams, I think. Ian Taylor has been what's lost it for Vale, I think. Of course, if they do lose it, there's still time for them to come back. I mean, they're going to try a shot, are they, from Paul Kerr, but that's not going to do nothing. Bit of a shame that from Paul Kerr, because the idea was there.
If I was John Rudge now, I'd be thinking about bringing Nicky Cross on and taking Keith Houchin off. I don't think he's got anything to lose by doing that, and I think that Port Vale need to start raining some shots on Bruce Grobbelaar's goal, because they haven't had a lot of service of the front two for Port Vale all the way through this match. And Bruce Grobbelaar, it has to be said, has not had that much to trouble him, has he?
No, he's what he's had to do, he's done very competently as Bruce Grobbelaar. And it's a shame from Vale that they couldn't get more shots and more testing on Bruce, but he's done what he's got to do with done very well with confidence. But Vale will come forward now and they'll try and get something now, but again, that's no problem for Bruce Grobbelaar. I feel a bit sorry for Ronnie Sinclair, you know, because he was just improving when he had his bad injury. And I think he was turning into a first-class keeper. He had a start a bit similar to Paul Musselwhite, a little bit indifferent. One or two people weren't sure about him, but just before his injury, he was really playing the best football that I've seen. Well, there's a chance here for Dave Regis if he can get through. And Regis is through, but I think he's overrun that, yes, goal kick.
Great tackle there, though, wasn't it? Great tackle by Peter Swan, showing what an excellent defender that Peter Swan is.
I notice Stoke are warming Graham Shaw up. I don't think they'll bring him on. It's not yet. We've got 15 minutes left. Robin van der Laan goes down, free kick to the Vale. And Dean Glover, is it? No, it's Peter Billings will take this. I was right, Dean Glover takes it, do apologise, floats it in. It's cleared by Stoke. And Bruce Grobbelaar will get that. Been an enjoyable game tonight, Tone. Enjoyed this one.
Well, I was looking forward to it, you know, for a number of weeks tremendously, and from a Stoke City point of view, it's lived up to all expectations. Port Vale will be a little bit disappointed that they haven't created much in the way of goal-scoring opportunities tonight. And
well, Bruce Grobbelaar.
Brucey decided he was going to flick that one. I think he was going to try and keep the ball up with the old right foot there.
Well, if Stoke ever in a match go 3 goals up, I'm sure Bruce will come out and play outside his area. He'll be an extra defender, outfield player. Vale have the ball, but not for very long, because Paul Ware gets in there for Stoke.
Great tackle by Dean Glover again, though, Phil.
And nearly Stein was through then, but not quite. And that was David Kevin, by the way, not Paul Ware, who got that tackle in for Stoke. Billings on the far side, plays it over to Kevin Kent. But Stoke have possession, and this is little Mark Stein coming forward now, and he's going through with Stein. What's he going to do? Poor ball at the end of the day, though. That's a back pass, so Paul Musselwhite can't pick it up, but he's not put under any pressure, really. Kevin Kent back to Paul Musselwhite, and Vale playing it around, nice at the back. There's Ray Walker playing it out again to Kevin Kent. Stoke have possession again, and they'll boot it forward again, but that'll go out of play. And some activity going down on the touchline. I see that Stoke are going to bring off Dave Regis and put on Graham Shaw. Bit of a shame, really, because I think Dave Regis has had an absolutely brilliant game tonight. And I think perhaps Lou Macari just wants a fresh pair of legs in there. I hope Dave Regis doesn't feel upset about being pulled off, because there's only, what, 12 minutes to go, and I'm sure it's just a fresh pair of legs from Lou Macari. No reflection on Dave Regis' play at all. He'll be very pleased with Dave Regis.
Keith Houghton got a timely flick on there, but I feel a little bit sorry for Bernie Slavin tonight, Phil, because he's been pulled to the left and he's been pulled to the right, and he hasn't had the service that...
Here comes Bruce, he's going to attack. Here he goes, there we go, Bruce Grobbelaar. Inside his own half, gives it straight to a Vale player. Well, he's entertaining, isn't he, Bruce?
Shame from a Vale point of view that they didn't catch that, control that one in their own half, because they could have put a shot straight on target there.
Well, I think if Ray Walker would have had that, or Robin van der Laan, that would have been straight back in, don't you? Towards the goal. But Vale have possession. That was Paul Kerr playing it forward. And this is John Jeffers. He turns well, plays some nice close control stuff. Back to van der Laan. And Vale coming forward. Good ball in, but that's well cleared by the Stoke defence. Regis is up there trying to get possession. Free kick to Stoke.
Paul Ware with an excellent clearance out of goal there by the header as the ball came in from Peter Billing.
Vinny Overson will take the free kick. There we go, towards Dave Regis. Good header from him towards Stein. Nice play. Stein keeps possession, does he? Regis gets it. What can he do? Gives it back to Stein. Stein going through, tries a shot. Oh, and Musselwhite can't hold, but gets on the rebound.
Great shot by Mark Stein, but a great save by Paul Musselwhite in the Port Vale goal. Grabbed it at the second attempt. And I think it won't be too long before we see Nicky Cross come into this game now for Keith Houchin. Slavin gets a touch on there, Phil.
Yeah, Bruce Grobbelaar in possession for Stoke, though. Bruce gets a good kick towards Mark Stein. Stein gets underneath it. But that goes back to his defender, Johnny Butler. Butler forward to Mark Stein again, but that's too far. And that's a throw into the Vale. Dean Glover takes. But no, Stoke want to make a substitution, and this is where David Regis is going to come off. And he puts his hands on his hips, does David Regis. And again, I think he's a bit disappointed, Tone.
But he gets a tremendous reception from the Stoke City following tonight. What an excellent game Dave Regis has had. His contribution to this game has been non-stop from a Stoke City point of view. And I think it's just the fact that he's got two tired legs out there as Dave Regis. And all it is, I think, the substitution, just a fresh pair of legs for Graham Shaw. And Lou Macari making a sensible substitution at this stage of the game, being 2-0 up and protecting that lead. And just a little bit more of a threat for Port Vale to overcome now.
I noticed the Stoke delegation then, Peter Anderson went straight across to David Regis and explained to him why he'd come off, shook his head, put his arm around him and said, you know, it's nothing to do with the way you've played, it's a tactical substitution at this time in the game. And Vale are going to substitute Keith Houchin. Now they're going to do what you said. No, Peter Billings, sorry. Peter Billings is going to come off.
Well, they're going to throw all out attack now. They're bringing Peter Billings off, who is a defender, and replacing him with a centre forward. So we've got Slavin, we've got Houchin, and now we've got Nicky Cross into the fray. And I can see what John Rudge is doing. He's got nothing to lose. He's 2-0 down. And I think that what we might find will happen is that Ray Walker will come back.
Yep, so the substitution made by Vale. Vale have played all their cards now, they can't do anything else. Stoke have possession with Paul Ware there, clearing the ball. But this is Kerr, and the substitute Johnny Jeffers gets a touch there. Offside against number 14, Nicky Cross. And Bruce is going to take this free kick. Suggests to his defenders that they go forward. And Bruce then decides, no, I won't take it. I'll let Johnny Butler take it. That's gone a bit colder now, Tom. Have you noticed?
Noticeably colder now.
I'll put my gloves on. And that's John Jeffers slicing that one out of play. Throw to Stoke. Paul Ware will take. What a great season the Potteries has had, though, in the second division. Both teams have done this area proud. They really have. And Stoke have possession again, but the ball goes out of play. And the Vale now trying to get the ball forward, but they can't because Stoke are harrying and getting stuck in. And the ball played forward again, looking for Mark Stein again, but Vale get possession again. This is John Jeffers. And the ball goes out of play. Throw into Stoke.
Well, Port Vale lacking ideas at the moment now, aren't they, Phil, as they press forward, trying to look for a goal. They've brought Nicky Cross on, taken Peter Billings off, so John Rudge is throwing the emphasis on attack. But they're lacking a few ideas in midfield now with Stoke, as Paul Ware prepares to take this throw-in.
Looking for Graham Shaw, but John Jeffers was back there for the Vale. And this time it's a throw-in to Port Vale. And John Jeffers, I thought was going to take it then, but no, Dean Glover will. And forward coming to Vale, Ray Walker. And already the Stoke fans whistling away. They want a full-time whistle, but there's a good 7 minutes to go yet, Tone, in this match.
Yeah, we've got Stoke City crying out for the whistle. We've got some Port Vale fans that are leaving the ground, and that never ceases to amaze me when fans can do that at 7 minutes, because it only takes a second to score a goal.
Steiny then, back to where? Where to Stein? Stein back to where? This is nice stuff. Back again to Stein. And Stein's going to get over in this corner flag and keep the ball in play. Just keep it in play. Oh no, lets it go out. That was poor play by Mark Stein there. He had plenty of time to keep that ball in play. Just let it run just a little bit too far. I'll tell you what, I notice over on the far side behind the by-cars end of the ground, to our right, plenty of seats over there appearing. A lot of people have left that part of the ground, and certainly the Vale supporters are leaving the ground. And as you say, Tony, it is a bit early, I think, for them to start leaving. Bit of a shame as well. I mean, what have we got? We've got a good 5 minutes. We must have 6 minutes at least because of the referee being injured. Well, Stoke have possession. This is Graham Shaw. What's he going to do? He's got time. Shaw is still keeping possession, doing very well over on the far side. This is Gleghorn. Goes ahead to play off Kevin Kent. Throw into Vale, to Stoke. Shawry again, back to Gleghorn. Again a throw into Stoke. Well, Stoke have done Vale, haven't they, in the 2 league matches, and Vale have done Stoke in the 2 cup matches.
And we've got a draw as well, so it's...
You couldn't get more even, could you?
You couldn't. But the game's not over yet, Phil.
Well, Vale start to build. This is Johnny Jeffers, looking all the time to try and get the ball in the Stoke half of the field. Ray Walker loses possession though, and this is Mark Stein. What's he going to do? He could go for goal, could Mark Stein? He's got little support, although Graham Shaw's going up there now. Nice ball in field, but that's a shame because Mark Stein could have gone for goal there.
Yeah, it was Steve Foley there that Mark Stein was aiming for, but he played it a little bit too far forward.
John Jeffers plays the ball forward, but that's offside for Nicky Cross. Free kick to Stoke City, and Bruce again comes out. Says, I'll take it this time. In fact, I'll tell you what, he says to Butler, you take it, I'll go up. Not it in the net. No, he doesn't really say that, doesn't Bruce? John Butler with the free kick. That's cleared by the Vale defence. But where he gets it back forward again, and Shawry puts it into touch, throw into Vale. I wonder if Dave Regis knows he can't come back on because he's warming up again, Tone, down on the touchline.
Yes, he's showing Lou Macari just how fit he thinks he is.
Yeah. So then, Stoke again starting to come forward, but Vale clear the ball, and it's a bit scrappy now in the middle of the park, going from one team to the other. But wait a moment, free kick to Vale.
Yeah, there was some holding on Nicky Cross there.
We've got 2 minutes yet to go, Tom, plus time added on. And Kerr takes that free kick on the far side to Kevin Kent, is it? He goes round, gets the corner, is it? No, goal kick. So this game's had 2 goals to Stoke. We've had a referee that's been swapped, and we've had good entertainment. Grobbelaar with a goal kick. Good distance on that kick from Grobbelaar. And again, Stein is in pursuit on the far side. If he can keep it in play, which I think he can. Looking for movement in the box, instead he elects to play it back to Gleghorn. And sure, he gets a touch, but Vale managed to get possession. This is Van der Laan now. And Walker gives it to Dean Glover. And then Johnny Jeffers is going to come forwards. Back to Dean Glover. And Stoke managed to clear. And Graham Shaw's in pursuit. But Dean Glover will marshal this back to Paul Musselwhite. So we're in the last minutes. Shall we do the man of the match, Tone, for the two teams that we always do? But wait a moment, shot comes in. Oh, that was close. Corner.
Bruce Grobbelaar got his fingers to that one.
Man of the match, Tone, for the Vale.
Well, I think for the Port Vale tonight, my man of the match is going to be Paul Kerr. Paul Kerr, he's really hard in midfield. He's never stopped running, run his little legs into the ground as Paul Kerr tonight, and
yeah, I agree with you.
As a Speck's leave shot came in from
Paul Kerr for me. I'm going to go first for Stoke. I think Dave Regis. I think he was brilliant, Dave Regis, tonight.
I'm going to agree with that 110%.
Stoke are going to make a substitution. Kevin Russell's coming forward, and we're well into the last minute. In fact, we're now into injury time. So it's obviously Stoke. They're trying to waste a few more seconds, Toe.
For Stoke City, he's not going to have a lot of time, as that was poor. Mind you, Bruce knew what he was doing there.
Yeah, give it to Rooster Russell. Ball floating forward to Mark Stein. What's he going to do? Goes round the defender and is pulled down. And Steiny gets up, and they have a few words. And Dean Glover puts his arms around Stein and says, "Now, come on." Referee's over there just asking them if they're all right. Actually, I suppose Dean Glover said to Mark, "Are you having a drink in the bar after?" And Mark said, "Well, I might if you're buying." Are you buying, Tom?
Again.
Cross comes in from Russell, but Vale were clear. Nice back heel. And this is Nicky Cross back there, is it? Yes. No, it's John Jeffers, that was, sorry. Well, we've played 2 minutes of injury time, so I think we can now say Stoke have won this one tonight. And I personally think that has guaranteed Stoke promotion now. Really, you have to say Vale were the only team that could catch them. And what a result for Lou Macari's men. They've come here, they've done exceptionally well. Conditions were very tough. And I feel a little bit sorry for John Rudge, his first home defeat of the season. And John Rudge has done a wonderful job here, you know, considering the resources he's got. And I think that Vale will go up in number 2 position.
Well, I hope that they do. I hope it's a Potteries 1 and 2 at the end of the season, Phil. Both teams have played enough good football to warrant that, I think.
Stoke clear, but Stein's offside, just offside. And free kick to Port Vale again. A look at the watch, we're now into the very close to the 3rd minute of injury time. Dean Glover takes the free kick. Ball comes in towards the area. But Stoke clear again. And there we go! The Potters get the result. 2-0 to Stoke. And what a result for Stoke City Football Club. 2-0 tonight. And I've enjoyed this one. I hope that you've enjoyed it, as the police horses come on the far side of the field, which is a bit of a shame. We haven't really got a pitch invasion here. A few idiots have gone onto the pitch, but I think the stewards will be here to meet them. But at the end of the day, Tone, good result for Stoke, bad result for Vale, but I think you're seeing here team number 1, Stoke City, team number 2, Port Vale, promotion for both at the end of the season.
Well, let's hope that that's certainly the case, but game sparked into life on 4 minutes with a cracking goal from the leading marksman for Stoke City, Mark Stein. He managed to put the Potters in front, and then it was all the way into the second half when Nigel Gleghorn popped up to head home through a corner. And I think it's applause to both sets of fans that we haven't had a pitch invasion here tonight. They've been extremely well behaved with the Stoke fans. And at the end of this 5th Potteries derby, well, the honour's even really at the end of the season when you look at it, because Stoke City take both league victories and Port Vale take both cup victories, and there's been a draw between them as well. And you can't get more even than that, and what a great advert for Potteries football. John, a disappointing night for you, and you were unfortunate to lose your home record against your Potteries rivals.
Well, yes, obviously it's always disappointing to lose any game, but obviously against Stoke it's even more disappointing for our supporters and whatever. The goals came at a bad time for us, but don't forget this is the first time we've been beaten at home, and we were the last club to actually be beaten in all the leagues. So I'll give the players credit for holding that record for such a long time. The goal came at a bad time for us. I mean, knocked us sideways. And then I thought that in that first half period, then we built up without being a lot of chances in the game. We played reasonably well in the first half, and with some constructive play, got us into decent areas. Didn't capitalise on, get that equaliser which we needed. But the second half, after they scored the goal, that knocked us, well, really. We lost our way after that.
They're content to put men behind the ball after that and go for the win, really?
Well, they were very solid then, made it very difficult for us. We were trying to get through the heart of the defence instead of going round them, made it very difficult for us. And we didn't look as if we were going to score in that period, so that was a bit disappointing. And after that, we got a little bit disheartened, I felt. But this is the time now where you pick people up and sort of saying, well, right, we got a game against Reading on Saturday. Let's not be too disheartened. We're still second in the table. We've got a lot to fight for. It's the first time we've been beaten at home this season, and we've got to pick ourselves up and get cracking against Reading.
Looks as if you missed Ian Taylor tonight. Will he be back for Saturday, John?
Well, I doubt it. I mean, I would say the players done exceptionally well. We've overcome a lot of problems. Having Martin Foyle out, I've said this before. You know, if you have somebody like Martin Foyle, it's like Stoke if they had to get Stein out. Their top goal scorer makes a big difference to any side, and not having Ian Taylor, who's contributed so much in scoring for us tonight. We missed his surges runs into the box. We hadn't got that extra person in the box when we need him.
Stein and Reed just looked to be a handful for the defence tonight. They really linked together well tonight, didn't they?
Oh, they did, but I didn't think they made that many chances. It was a case when you play against Stoke and the games like this, you've got to be very tight. Now, it's been our forte of late of not conceding goals. Now, we've conceded 2 goals tonight, and that's a big factor. To have scored 3, and it's going to be difficult against Stoke.
Lou, an excellent game and an all-round team performance tonight, and 2 great goals.
Yeah, a lot different to Saturday. We were absolutely hopeless on Saturday and lost to a team that obviously we expected to beat, but you get out of this game what you put in it, and I felt tonight we got out of the game what the players put in. They started bright, got a good goal from Little Mark, looked sharper, looked quicker than the opposition, and at the end of the day, no complaints from anybody. I don't think that we were the worthy winners.
Dave Regis, he's not always been in your starting lineup since his arrival from Plymouth, but he really had a good game tonight, didn't he?
Oh, he kept going, he kept them under pressure, and I mean, towards the end he was dying on his feet, and we had to bring him off. But he'd done his job. I think it'd be wrong to single out any player we had tonight. I think in fairness we can look at lots of different players and attribute lots of different things to them. I mean, little David Kevin, he tackled everybody. I think he even tackled the referee who had to go off, but because he was there or thereabouts when that happened. But he had a good game for us in midfield and worked all night for us.
Mark Stein must have been thrilled to get the goal after the missing the Autoglass trophy.
Well, I was thrilled for him. You hope that things like that happen to players. He probably felt that the goal, the penalty he missed in the Autoglass, maybe deprived us of a trip to Wembley. He's probably suffered a little bit from it since, and tonight was an ideal opportunity for him to bounce back, and with the character he's got, sure enough he did.
Well, you've made an appeal to the fans and the local press tonight to be on the best behaviour, and they responded to that tonight, didn't they? Oh,
they were good. Yeah, they got behind the team, and which was another little disappointing thing on Saturday. We didn't have a lot of vocal support from the crowd, and I've said it before, our players need that support. It lifts them. We probably all felt, well, players and management and support, we probably all felt Blackpool were just coming to be lambs to the slaughter, but it's not like that in our league. And especially between now and the end of the season, we need good vocal support from the supporters. But tonight they got behind the team, lifted the players when they needed to be lifted. You know, there was some tired legs out there, and they kept going and they kept going, and we all got a reward at the end of the game.
Well, you're another 3 points closer to the automatic promotion place, and you must be well chuffed. Are you confident now that Stoke City are going to go up?
There's still 9 games to go. I don't think we need that many wins. I don't think you can be all that confident of anything when you play at home to Blackpool and lose, and we perform the way we did, and then 3 days later go to play much harder opposition away from home and perform the very opposite. So I mean, really you're asking me the impossible, to look into the crystal ball and see what lies ahead for us and our players between now and the end of the season. But we're in the pole position, and we can only throw it away now.
Bruce, a clean sheet tonight in your first Potteries derby.
Yeah, it was nice to come out with a win, especially against the local rivals, because they turned us over in the autogloss. It was nice to get them back for a change.
It was a big crowd atmosphere for the Potteries, but how does it compare to the Liverpool-Everton ones that you've played in the past?
Well, it was nice. It was nice atmosphere. There was a little bit of hostility, which you always get with the derby games, but I'm sorry to say that you can't compare it with the Merseyside derbies. Maybe if they get up into the First Division and they're pushing for promotion to the Premier League, then it'll get more hostile like the Merseyside derbies. There's a lot of passion with the Merseyside derbies. There is passion here, but in a different way.
Well, they've really taken you to the heart, haven't they, Bruce? The home fans. It's Brucey, 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 and Brucey is a Stokey. How do you respond to that?
I don't know about that, you know. I started my career just down the road at Crewe, so I'm, you know, quite known in this area. The last time I came here was with Liverpool, and I got abuse shouted at me. Hopefully, I've just turned their minds to liking me, and that's what's happened. You know, and I'm glad to be the choir master on occasions, and hopefully, I'm not going to be on the losing side of abuse too often. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Well, Bruce, you're at Stoke until the end of the season. How would you look to make it a permanent move? Would that something you'd look for?
If it comes at the end of the day that Stoke and Liverpool come to an agreement, I'll have to have a look at that agreement first. I'm not committing myself because I still feel that I can play in the Premier League. We just have to wait and see. Who knows what will happen at the club that I've come from. You know, funnier things have happened. You know, we didn't know what had happened when this new boss took over, and I found myself in the wilderness. And it's just one thing after another. I'm just thankful that Stoke and Macari have given me the opportunity to play football again. And if they want to have a chat about it, you know, on a permanent basis, I'll have to have a look at it of all angles.
Well, there you go then. Disappointment for Port Vale at home tonight. They lose tonight by 2-0 against the Potteries side in Stoke City that really were supreme on the night. And it has to be said that this lad here, he really did predict the scoreline.
Yeah, I did, didn't I? Did very well there. That's not the first time this season either, so I'm having a very good season this year. But in fairness, I did say Stoke would win in the FA Cup here, and they didn't, did they? So I suppose I had to be right eventually, didn't I?
But it was an inspired performance by Lou's men, wasn't it? They took the ball by the horns and got a great goal through Mark Stein.
Well, yes, I personally think that Stoke will win the championship now with quite a few points to spare. Tonight was the crucial game. Had they have lost tonight, and then the pressure would have really been on Saturday at Stockport. It's taken some pressure off Stoke now for Saturday's match at Stockport because they now find themselves 10 points in front, whereas Saturday at the end of the night they could have been just the 1 point in front. It's a great night for Stoke. Vale can take heart from the performance. They kept on fighting, they kept on plugging away, but at the end of the day it's a Stoke victory, and I still think Vale will go up in second place anyway.
Well, we hope so, but it's disappointment here at Vale Park tonight, and that's the first time this season that we've had this disappointment, the first home defeat of the season. Let's hope there's not too many more. But on First Team Television, we have 5 Potteries derbies now, and we've seen some excellent football in action, and we're just thankful that Potteries football came out the winner in the end, Phil.
We certainly are, Tone, and I'm looking forward to coming here on Saturday against Reading, and I'll tell you what, I predict again the Vale will win Saturday.
So the final scoreline here from Port Vale, it's Port Vale 0, Stoke City 2.